L'hiver vient. Bon, bah, j'ai débloqué un succès. Et du coup, il y a beaucoup à lire. J'avais pas lu le chapitre 1, mais là je voulais volontiers le chapitre 2. 15 ans, voilà, 15 ans que vous avez quitté Puysaigues, le fief ancestral de votre famille, en tant que fils aîné de son seigneur, Lord Reynard Sarwick, vassal de la puissante famille Lannister. Il devait vous revenir un jour, mais vous avez fui Westeros, ce nid de vipères, où les grands de ce monde se disputent le royaume au jeu des trônes. Tournant le dos à votre passé, vous avez traversé le détroit et vous avez vécu dans les cités libres, loin des toiles de pouvoir tissées par les grandes familles. Le culte de Rohr et ses prêtres rouges vous y ont accueilli, vous faites désormais partie des leurs, bien que votre nouvelle religion ne soit pas la bienvenue sur votre terre d'origine. Mais votre passé vous rattrape et après un long voyage, vous voilà aujourd'hui de retour dans votre ville natale, Puysaigues, 4 mois plus tôt, à Alester. Et je pense qu'on arrêtera le premier rush ici. Je ne sais pas encore, il faudra voir ce qu'il y a comme cinématique.
Finally, we come to River Spring. 15 years ago, it was one of the region's most flourishing towns. But things slowly worsened, and today River Spring knows only idle craftsmen and discontent among the peasants. And the death of Lord Reynold Sarwick will not improve matters. That said, his death didn't surprise many people. The poor man was but a shadow of his former self since the disappearance of his eldest son. They say that his daughter is the one who makes decisions since then, and you can see where that has led.
Donc dès que je peux jouer, je fais
Have you been
la
here
fin du
before?
rush. Alors, ça fait bien longtemps.
I used to live in River Spring. I left 15 years ago.
Yes, that was a
En fait,
while
on va jouer
ago.
plusieurs personnages, quoi.
Back then, the town was still prosperous.
What happened?
I don't know the details, but I think it had something to do with the eldest Sarwick boy leaving.
I must go to the castle.
Oh? And, if I may ask, what would a red priest like you be doing here?
That is a private matter.
Ah, my apologies. In that case, enjoy your stay in
Fais
River
confiance à
Spring.
personne, il va te vendre.
If you should need my services again, please don't hesitate to find me.
Ah, ok.
Understood.
My lord, would you at least give me your name?
Sir Alistair Sarwick.
Father above, after so long? We thought you had disappeared. My sympathies for your father. I did not recognize you.
My god R'hllor now watches over him. Thank you for the crossing, ferryman.
Alors, vous êtes Alester, le fils d'un puissant seigneur des terres de l'Ouest, promis à un brillant avenir en tant que seigneur d'un fief. Vous vous êtes exilé vers les cités libres après la rébellion de Robert Baratheon. Vous êtes réfugié dans le culte de Rohr, le dieu de la lumière, le seul unique, et de l'amour. Vous êtes désormais prêtre rouge du temple de Bravos, et vous avez choisi de dévouer votre vie au culte de votre dieu. Contacté par votre précepteur, vous voilà de retour dans votre ville natale pour assister à l'enterrement de votre père. Rattrapé par votre passé, vous devez désormais faire face à ceux que vous avez abandonnés, voilà, 15 ans. Justement, avant de faire donc la suite, je pense que suite logique du deuxième chapitre, on va arrêter là le premier rush. Sur ce, c'était Arena 2008 sur Game of Thrones, un jeu très sympa. Honnêtement, j'ai bien aimé le premier chapitre. Ciao tout le monde, à la prochaine. Bonjour à tous, c'est Arena 2008. Nous voilà pour le chapitre 2 de Game of Thrones avec Alester Sarwick. Donc vous êtes Alester, fils d'un puissant seigneur. Ça, vous l'avez vu à l'épisode précédent. Je pense qu'on va faire des épisodes plus ou moins par chapitre. Là par exemple je pars sur une petite durée, on fera 30 à 40 minutes. J'ai fait 1h20 dans l'autre épisode. Donc j'espère que ça ira plus vite. Donc là du coup qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Est-ce qu'on est un danseur d'eau, donc avec une simple épée, on a une petite dague de merde, un ranger, on peut faire un mec à distance pour changer un petit peu, étant donné qu'on a fait du corps à corps avant. Ouais, on va partir sur ça. Je suis un archer et du coup on va vachement augmenter ça parce que je me suis bien fait avoir avant. Voilà. Très bien. Et on a 3 points. Qu'est-ce qu'on a du coup? Poudre paralysante. Vous projetez une poudre paralysante sur les adversaires qui se trouvent en face de vous. Oh cool. Et là on a quoi? Vous appliquez une dose de ciguë sur votre projectile. Ça c'est cool. Et tir frénétique. Vous tirez frénétiquement sur votre adversaire. C'est son. Oh cool. Ça va très bien. Bah, du coup tu es plus fort là-dessus. Hein. Ça, voilà. Et on va se concentrer uniquement sur l'archerie avec celui-là. Lui, ça sera un peu notre Legolas personnel. Et ici, on a tout. Nombre de points d'atout de faiblesse doit être équilibré. Vous pouvez choisir jusqu'à 3 atouts. Ok, je vois l'idée. Mais je suis bien avec ça. Mon gars il est assez bon, donc c'est parti. Et on va penser à sauvegarder. Enfin, là, ça sauvegarde, mais je sais pas trop ce que ça sauvegarde. Alors, dirigez-vous vers le château de Puysaigues pour assister à la veille funèbre de votre père. Mais on va quand même sauvegarder, j'ai pas confiance. Tu vois, ça sauvegarde pas. Une sauvegarde de merde, en fait. Je pense que c'est une sauvegarde automatique, ça fait, mais... Mais sans plus, voilà. Ça, on est au chapitre 2. Donc on peut se permettre facilement d'enregistrer sur ce jeu, étant donné que tout le premier chapitre m'a même pas pesé 70 gigas. Donc on se balade un petit peu. C'est cool. Est-ce qu'il y a des marchands? Est-ce qu'on peut faire des achats ou... Non. Bonjour. Ah, par contre il y a des trucs. Alors, je sais pas si on va revenir aux autres personnages. J'imagine que le but c'est de voir plusieurs personnages dans l'histoire, qu'on revient de temps en temps voir s'ils sont toujours entiers. Mais je vais vraiment choisir des catégories différentes pour vous varier un peu les combats. Est-ce que je suis plus ou moins au bon endroit? Ouais, là je rentre dans le donjon, logiquement. Voilà.
Forgive my boldness, noble stranger, but I cannot let you walk into certain death like that.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not sure of the customs in the free cities nowadays, but I wouldn't dream of entering Westerer's arm like that. And yet, as the smith labours day and night for us, it so happens that I sell the finest weapons. Blunt, cutting, perforating, you know what they say, my lord. Don't buy your blade until you know what you plan to stick it into.
Tell me more about perforating weapons.
An enemy full of holes is considerably less frightening, isn't he? Piercing weapons are especially designed to fight against medium armor, such as chainmail. Do you need more information?
Oh.
I have things to do.
Tu peux pas m'en vendre.
Don't hesitate to come back and see me in the Merchant Square. I weep to see you so ill-equipped in this town.
Oh,
and don't
chérie.
forget you'll be wanting armor. After all, no matter the weapon you face, simple clothes will not protect you.
Me donne pas envie de te tirer dessus. Oui. Non. Il y a un petit côté Pokémon. Donc toutes les armes sont efficaces contre les gens qui n'ont pas d'armure, contre le cuir, les haches, contre les codes de main et les objets contondants, perforants, si on peut dire ça comme ça. Perforants, ouais, voilà. Et contondants contre les armures. Ça semble plus ou moins logique. Après, tu peux toujours frapper avec tout. Ça prendra juste plus de temps. Par contre, désolé, je crois qu'il y a ma souris. Hop là. Voilà. Je crois qu'il y avait la souris qui était en plein milieu de l'écran. Toujours de l'argent.
Halt, priest. This town is in mourning. Access to the castle is closed during the ceremony.
I'm actually here to attend Lord Sarwick's burial.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I'm under strict orders to only allow entry to close kin. With the villagers' current grumblings, we don't want to risk problems.
I am Lord Reynold Sarwick's eldest son, and I am here to attend my father's funeral.
His eldest son? Do you take me for a fool? I have been at my post for more than 5 years, and I have never once seen your face.
It has been more than 5 years since I left River Spring. Please call on Mr. Harwin. He knows of my arrival.
Well, we'll see about that, but I doubt he'll come here for you. The ceremony's about to start.
Mais tu vas le chercher, c'est tout.
Go find Mr. Harwin.
What is going on here? Why has John gone for the Maester?
Ryman, it's me, Alistair.
Several hells! Alistair? Graydon, I told you only family. That excludes peasants, dogs and cravens who abandon their families.
Ok.
Enough, Ryman. However long I was absent, this house is still mine.
How dare you? You disappeared without so much as a goodbye years ago, and now you return as...
Mec, c'est ma maison. Je veux rentrer chez
The
moi.
reasons for my exile are mine alone. I owe you no explanation.
I care about your reasons? It's your fault that Lord Sarwick is dead.
Pourquoi?
You've lost your head, cousin.
Your departure destroyed him. He was never the same again.
Ah,
Your
ça.
judgment is clouded, Ryman. I can smell the ale on your breath from here.
What? Stand back. I'll make you eat your words, priest.
Je vais quand même pas buter mon cousin. Oh, tu vas te calmer, mec. Alors, tiens, ça va te calmer un petit peu. Je suis empoisonné. Oh putain. Par contre, niveau force... Putain, mais il va me déglinguer ce mec. Vite, casse-toi. J'imagine que tu n'as rien. Alors tu es... Ah.
Enough. Do you not think we have enough dead here?
Ah voilà le maître.
Mr. Harwin.
Alistair, finally. I prayed for your return.
J'étais pas loin de me
This
faire
traitor
déglinguer.
no longer had his place here, Maester Harwin. He abandoned his castle and his family.
7 gods. Get a hold of yourself, Ryman. I wrote to him to invite him to Lord Sarwick's funeral.
I prefer to leave than to hear more of this.
Ouais, va boire un coup.
Alistair, what a relief it is to finally see you. I had help from my contacts in Bravos to inform you of your father's death. The funeral will be in the Godswood. The ceremony has already begun.
Why is it not held at the Sept?
It would be if it were not in ruins. River Spring is suffering on all fronts, I fear. Let us go now. Come with me, Alistair. Let us speak as we walk.
What happened here, Maester? How could my father allow things to get to this point?
You know, after you left, Lord Reynold changed. He began to live more and more in the past and stopped taking care of his duties. Your sister quickly found herself managing more than she should have.
Eliana helped my father govern?
Well, these last few months, she's practically run the house herself. In spite of her efforts, she was unable to slow the inevitable ruin of her lands without a lord. But all is not so dark. Many of your father's vassals remain faithful to their oath. They have all come to the burial in order to honor his memory. We will speak of all this again after the ceremony. Let us make haste, I beg of you.
C'est parti pour le bois sacré. Oh, c'est joli. On dit en Westeros ou à Westeros? Je pensais qu'on disait à. Joli comme endroit. C'est ma sœur.
Hello, Red Priest. I am Lady Eliana Sarwick, daughter of the late Lord Sarwick. You are just in time for the ceremony. Were you close to my father?
You have changed much in 15 years, little sister.
Alistair, why have you returned? We don't need you here.
Harwin
aussi
told
content
me
de
of
te
father's
revoir.
death. It was my duty to come.
15 years without any news. And he had to die for us to see
J'ai
you
réclamé
again.
mon dû.
You would have done better to stay where you were.
I do not doubt that my departure was difficult for you.
Difficult? To say the least. Your disappearance was our father's ruin. Do you know how long I cried after you left? And how long I hoped for news of you?
I am sorry. I left Westeros without once turning back, it's true. I understand your reaction. It must have been unbearable for you, but I had to leave. Know that I never forgot you.
That's easy for you to say. And you should know that we here learn to live very well without you.
I understand your reaction, Eliana.
I doubt it. Go pay your last respects to father. We will speak later.
May the stranger, the eternal outcast, now guide you to the Father. And may he judge you fairly and deliver you from the torments of the seven heavens.
Who is that man?
I believe that is the elder Sarwick, the one who disappeared. He has certainly changed, but I recognize him.
Je sais pas pourquoi, mais eux, ça sent pas les mecs gentils. Ça sent le méchant. Ouais, c'est quoi ça? Ouais. Alors, je suis très ouvert comme mec, mais un mec en bas, c'est un mec mort. C'est assez glauque, peu importe la source. C'est quoi, je vais le réveiller? Pas compris, là. Quelqu'un peut m'expliquer? Il me laisse Risbar, je me retrouve avec ma
How
soeur.
could you desecrate our father's body that way?
I desecrated nothing. I performed the final kiss, the tribute that priests of R'hllor pay to the dead.
You may be a red priest, but you should respect the beliefs of Riverspring.
I did not intend to be disrespectful, little sister.
Do not think that it is easy for me to speak with you after all this time.
This is all water under the bridge now. At the time, I saw no other way. 15 years ago, the war that King Robert Baratheon fought to claim the throne forced me to commit deeds which haunt me still. The very idea of returning to you was too painful. I did the only thing left for me to do. I left and began a new life elsewhere. Not long ago, I received a letter from Maester Harwin telling of Father's death. I could no longer hide myself. It was time to confront my past. What I regret the most, Ilyana, is that by fleeing to the other side of the waters, it is you whom I wounded.
All these years, I have thrown a veil over your memory. And you return at the moment when everything is in turmoil. I must be alone for the moment. I will see you later, Alistair.
Take your time, little sister. I understand.
Alistair, Maester Harwin would like to speak with you. He awaits you in the castle courtyard. And if I may add, you should be ashamed of that kiss during
C'est
the
propre à ma
ceremony.
religion.
My thanks, Ravella. I shall go and see him.
Alors, bon bah, je peux prendre ton épée? Non, même pas. Au revoir, papa. Allez, on y va.
I am not sure there is more to discuss between us, Alistair. I am sincerely sorry for your loss. You know how much your father meant to me. Unless you are truly ready to listen to me, it would be best that you leave.
As you wish.
Ok, j'ai pas envie de t'écouter. C'est de l'autre côté. Dans toutes les parties dans le codex et tout, vous êtes gentils, mais je vais pas forcément toutes les faire. Ouais. Oh, du château. Quelque chose me dit qu'il y aura moins de combats. Bon, c'est... Dès qu'il y a des dégâts corps à corps, c'est vite chiant si je suis tout seul en archer quand même. J'aurais peut-être dû partir sur une petite dague quand même au cas où. On verra avec l'évolution du jeu. Il est là, le maître. Bonjour. Allô.
Ah, Alistair. There you are. Please leave us. So, you're not too unsettled by the situation here?
I spoke to
M'en
Eliana.
fous du peuple.
She has still not accepted my absence.
That's not surprising. She has suffered much since you left. She had toughened against the pain. But now that you are back, she would not know how to react.
I understand her anger. I pray for things to improve with time.
You are not the sole cause of her unhappiness. As I told you, Eliana took over managing the lands when your father began to fade. She moved heaven and earth to try to get River Spring out of this mire.
Our family has always served House Lannister with loyalty. What have they done to help us?
For 15 years, your father refused to speak with them. But after his death, Eliana requested an audience with Queen Cersei Lannister. The audience did not go well, and the Queen will only help us once River Spring has a new lord at its head. So your sister worked towards this end. River Spring has belonged to House Sarwick for generations. Eliana has refused to marry a lord from any other house. So, the Queen has chosen a man for your sister.
Who is it?
Valar, your father's bastard son, your half-brother.
Valar. I left Westeros hoping never to hear that name again. It is out of the question for my sister to marry him. He shares our blood. How can the Queen condone a marriage which goes against nature?
T'as pas vu les
You
Lannister,
realize
mec.
that if Eliana were to wed another lord, she would take her husband's name. Being a bastard, Valar has no family name. It was the only solution to keep River Spring for House Sarwick.
Why choose Valar for a suitor? What does the Queen want?
From what I heard while accompanying your sister to King's Landing for her audience at court, Valar distinguished himself through his exploits. I know that the Queen enjoys surrounding herself with strong, devoted men. That is the case for Valar. By giving him this gift, she ensures his loyalty and increases her power.
But Valar was just a squire when he went off to war with me. It would take more than that to be a suitor worthy of our name.
Seeing him return alone from the war, your father blamed him for your disappearance. No matter how much Valar claimed to work for the prosperity of House Sarwick, your father wouldn't hear any of it. He cursed him and chased him away from River Spring for good. Your half-brother was mad with rage and left seeking vengeance. Apparently, he spent several years at the Citadel, using education to compensate for his low birth.
A maester cannot become a lord.
He never became maester, but stopped at the rank of acolyte. He learned the art of war, studied the higher mysteries, and forged links. He was then thrown out of the Citadel several years later for studying the forbidden arts. He's been a sellsword ever since. His reputation spread quickly, and royal ears heard of him. In 2 years, he went from simple soldier to the Queen's Guard. He moves in the shadows. The nobles of the court fear him.
Valar. He has taken too much from me already. I cannot just stand by while he marries my sister.
There is something else of which we should speak. I would have liked to spare you this. I do not believe that your father's death was an accident. There are certain indications that lead me to believe that he was poisoned.
Are you sure?
Believe me, Alistair, I know this subject. The Strangler is a difficult poison to detect, but it leaves certain traces that cannot be caused by anything else.
And you have no idea who it could have been?
I am not certain, but there are rumors of a possible culprit.
Tell me who it
Ta
is.
sœur?
This may overwhelm you,
Ah,
but the rumors say
connais
that
pas
it is
celui-là.
your younger brother, Garwin.
Gawain. He was but a child when I
Et
left.
les gens ils grandissent.
He and Lord Reynold had some serious quarrels, and he disappeared on the very night of your father's death. We've had no news of him since.
Je vais aller le chercher.
Why? Why would he have done such a thing?
Maester Harwin, the people are rebelling. Rioting has broken out throughout the town.
With all of this festering discontent, it was only a matter of time before this happened.
Why would the people rise up with such violence?
Well, the lords left the castle after the burial with their fine clothes and all, whereas the villagers are starving. All of this flaunted wealth must have pushed them too far. Everything quickly erupted. They attacked the lords, taking them hostage.
How did things get this far out of hand?
One man used this opportunity to unite the mob against us. Some guards who hurried back from the marketplace mentioned a man, a certain Tyrek who was leading the rioters. He is organizing a revolt from there.
Then that is where we must go.
Captain Ryman says that it's impossible. Our men are barely managing to keep them at bay at the castle doors. There are not enough of us to attempt an escape.
Where is Captain Ryman?
He is at the doors. He's the one that ordered the barricades.
7 hells! If Ryman deals with it, the revolt will end in flames and bloodshed.
Riverspring has already suffered too much. I must join Ryman. Riverspring needs me. I will not watch our land fall into ruins without acting.
Very well, but I beg you to be careful. You are a Sarwick. Act as a liege, Lord Alster, and know that your acts will have consequences.
Ok, je vais tuer tout
I
le
will
monde.
do what must be done.
Je vais tuer tout
I
le
am
monde.
sure you will.
Je vais tuer tout le monde. Alors, la révolte Grandonville rejoignit Riemann pour évaluer l'ampleur des dégâts. De l'autre côté. C'est quoi ce machin? Faut que je vois si je peux aller. C'était lui le marchand. Ouais. D'ailleurs, à ce propos, j'ai quoi comme inventaire? Pas grand chose. Très bien. Je profite pour sauvegarder un petit coup. De temps en temps, je ferai des petites sauvegardes. Voilà. Donc on y va en direction de la ville. Bonjour, bonjour. On retourne à Puysaigues. Les sceaux du savoir peuvent être revendus aux marchands contre quelques serres d'argent. Ok. Dans son niveau commerce, je fais que dalle, je garde tout sur moi. Personne n'est libre sans les enfants et les abrutis qui croyaient autrement. Tywin Lannister. Le pire, c'est que ça colle bien au personnage. Ah, ça sent la révolte. Alors.
Well, well, look who's here, dear Alistair. What have you come for, my good cousin?
Mais on s'est fighté la gueule juste avant, tu te rappelles?
Than you were earlier.
I have no lessons to learn from a coward.
Let's not start that again. Ryman, I did not come here to fight with you. What can you tell me of the situation here?
We've almost regained control of the southern part of town. My soldiers are about to clean it out. But in the marketplace, there are still skirmishes between rioters and people loyal to our cause. Nobles who came for the ceremony are still being held hostage by rebels on the docks in the northern part of town.
Very well. Let's go, Ryman. I want to see this for myself.
Really? His lordship would like to see this for himself? Well then, I'd be happy to accompany you to see this. I cannot wait to see you reason with this gang of peasants. I hope that blade at your belt is not just for decoration. Here, take my flask. You might need it.
Ma flasque.